Besides the blingage? Yeah, a little bit. I was shocked at how many people in town recognize me. I'm like by no means famous. People have said I'm Bloomington famous. I'll take that. But like everywhere I've gone, like the grocery store, Subway, like everywhere, at least one person has come up to me and be like, "Can I take a photo with you?" And I'm like, "All right." So yeah, I guess it's changed a little bit, but we're still the same people. Yeah. It's pretty, life is pretty good. Our teammate Caleb Dressel the other day tweeted, he's like, sometimes life is tough and sometimes life is really good. And right now life is really good. So I retweeted that because it's true.
Is it more difficult to go from that incredible high of being in Rio and winning medals, and now you're back?
I mean, not really. I feel like we're still kind of living on that high. Like even when I just saw Candace for the first time since I've been back, and she gave me a big hug, and I still feel like we're kind of soaking it in. Like it hasn't really set in yet, and I just hope it doesn't because it feels pretty good. You know, we're trying to carry out as normal, and you know, training back again, and so it's pretty surreal. Yeah.
What was it like being an Olympic relay teammate of Michael Phelps?
Yeah, that was a pretty special moment. There's like a super cool photo of us hugging after the relay, and I was like, "Mom, look, this is so cool." But he was great, you know. He hugged us after the relay and said, "You know, I'm proud of all you guys. Like, couldn't have gone out on a better note." And so we were really proud of that. And you know, he was a great team captain and just showed a lot of leadership. And it was an honor, obviously, being a part of his legacy and you know, bringing back the Indiana swimming legacy as well. So it was pretty awesome. Do I think I'll be? You know, like before we even got back, people are like, "So Tokyo 2020?" I'm like, "Bro, the games aren't even over yet. Let's just take a breath and soak it in." Yeah, all right, fair enough, fair enough. We're gonna take it 1 year at a time. I would love to swim through Tokyo, obviously, because the Olympics are awesome, and I like hanging out with Ray every day. But as long as I'm enjoying it and I like being here and I like getting in the pool at 5 a.m. every morning, like I'll keep doing it, and I don't see myself not enjoying it. So, yeah, 1 year at a time.
Coach talked about the honest, genuine emotion that just poured out when you won the bronze medal. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously with Adam Peaty being as fast as he is and just shattering the record, I mean, people are competing for, you know, silver and bronze. And, you know, 2 lanes over is Cam Vandenberg, the previous world record holder and a previous Olympic champion. And so really guys are really shooting for that bronze medal. And, you know, every guy in that heat had been faster than me at one point in time leading into that race, and I knew that. I was also the smallest guy in that race, and I knew that. But, I mean, sitting in that ready room, I just kind of reminded myself of all the, I mean, not just the hard work in the pool, but all the hard work out of the pool that I put in as well. I was just kind of soaking that in, and I realized, like, I truly believe that no one had, you know, done more to prepare themselves for that moment, for that 1 minute. And, I mean, as tense and as high as your adrenaline is, I was also pretty calm. And, you know, when I finally saw that I, you know, won that bronze, like it just all kind of poured out because it was awesome.
Can you talk about what Lilly achieved and when you watched
Yeah,
the race, what went through your mind?
Yeah, I mean, she's awesome. One of the most emotional experiences at the games was just being on deck with Ray. I mean, when she won, obviously, but then for her medal ceremony, like it was, you know, when she first won that 100, it was amazing. I mean, we were just pretty much in awe. I mean, obviously she was a big contender and a lot of people were expecting her to win, but I mean, she's so young and so raw that it's like, it's mind-boggling like how fast she is. And I mean, just looking at her, like her mannerisms and her attitude and her body language behind the blocks, like you would expect, like that girl's a pro and she's been around forever because she just emits confidence. But yeah, I mean, like I said, just watching her step up on that first place podium was, you know, I was standing right next to Ray. That was pretty amazing, something I'll never forget. So we're proud of Lilly. We love her. She's awesome. She busts. She crushes workout. She works hard. It's pretty cool.
Reaction when you heard what Lilly had said.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
What was your reaction when you heard what Lilly had said about in regards to doping?
I mean, she's just speaking her mind. She's saying what everybody else was thinking. You know, we're not gonna hide it or stray away from it. Obviously, I said it in an interview at the games. I mean, there are people who are making Olympic finals, or I'm sorry, there are people who were missing out on Olympic finals because of people who don't deserve to be there. And Lilly just showed them that you can do it the right way. And she was just speaking her mind. In one of our press conferences, I got a lot of flack because I was asked about the whole Mac Horton ordeal. And Mac Horton is the guy, the Aussie that won the 400 freestyle and beat Sun Yang. And they asked me about it, and I just said, well, Mac Horton is a boss. And I was like, and if I had a microphone, I would drop it. And the next morning I woke up and I had like hundreds and hundreds of tweets from really angry Chinese citizens, and I was like, wow, this is freaking ridiculous. But it's cool. We all know what's going on here. Like, it's cool. We don't need to get into that. It's pretty obvious.
How often while you're in Rio did you check your Twitter, to see?
Well, I mean, on days in which I compete, I block myself out. So any days where I was racing, I was off all forms of social media because it honestly becomes a distraction. But leading into it at the meet, I mean, I wouldn't say checking Twitter to see what people are saying about me or about Lilly or about my teammates, more so to just show the world kind of what's going on, how much fun we're having, because I think that's important to kind of, to give back to the hundreds of people who have supported us up to this moment. I mean, they want to share a little piece of that, so it was pretty cool. Is that it? What's that? Yeah, I mean, as long as I'm swimming, I'll definitely be here with Ray and the IU team for sure. So, looking to get a house. My fiance and I are getting married next summer, so we're super pumped about that. And life is pretty good. I'll keep breathing. You're good? Oh, yes, sir.
You and Michael had a moment together when you first got to the competition pool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, literally the first day we got to the competition pool, we walked out on deck, and anytime you go to a big meet, especially the Olympic Games, walking out onto the arena deck is like a big moment. It's you're kind of breathing it in, and realizing that, hey, we're finally at the Olympics. Like, this is real, this is here. There's a lot of pressure going on, and right before the team meeting, I'm standing and kind of looking at the pool, checking out the depth and stuff, and I'm standing between Bob and Michael. And MP, he goes, so what do you think? And Bob goes, yeah, Cody, how are you feeling? And I was like, well, this pool looks like every other Murtha pool I've ever seen. And Bob goes, well, that's why you're going to be successful. Because, it is just another pool. Yeah, it was the pool of the Olympic Games, but it's the same pool we swam at trials. It's the same type of pool that we swim at in Indianapolis. It's the same format. So you kind of have to have a simple mindset. And I think that's probably why I was successful. But that was pretty cool. All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy, honestly. Really, I guess just with, social media following alone, I guess everything just skyrocketing so fast, and people, know who I am now. So that's a little strange. I actually went to Target the other day, and, 4 or 5 random people came up and hugged me, and I'm like, oh God, I don't know you. That was a little weird, but I mean, other than that, I feel the same. I know life's not the same, but I still feel like me, and nothing's really changed too much. No, it was not. I don't know where that bag came from, but that is the official bag that carries my medals as of the last couple weeks. So.
Going through your mind as you were going down the streets of your hometown in Evansville during that parade, and you see all the signs in the businesses downtown?
Yeah, we didn't have a parade. I just went down Wednesday for kind of a media tour day. So I just did 3 interviews at the stations, but it was pretty cool. Seeing these businesses that I have never really seen before, gone into, showing their support and having signs, and actually nice made signs that were made, not just on the signs where you put the letters in. So it was pretty cool, just seeing all the support from home.
How quickly after you made the comments you did about the doping, did you realize it was going to be as big a deal as it was? I mean, did you expect it to catch fire pretty quickly, or when did you realize it?
Yeah, I really didn't think that I said anything that bad, and I still don't think I said anything that bad. But I didn't realize it until I was getting on the bus to leave after the semi that it had actually kind of exploded, and I was being referred to as a savage. I think that was the term. And but yeah, I kind of got back to the village. I was eating dinner, and my teammates were coming in, and they're like, "What did you do? What did you do?" And I'm like, "I don't think I did anything." But yeah, it was pretty soon after that I realized what had come from it.
Plan to say anything when you went into that swim, or at what point did you decide you were going to speak out about that?
Yeah, I actually had no intentions of planning to speak out. And then they kind of caught me quite candid in the ready room, kind of wagging my finger. So that was just purely me being myself. And then I got out of my race and went over to my NBC interview with Michelle Tafoya, and she asked me about it, and it came out. Also, didn't really realize I was saying anything horrible or speaking out, just kind of speaking my mind. And then it kind of went from there. Yeah, I think the motivation was already there. It was the Olympics. But definitely a lot more pressure, I think. But usually I'm a lot better the more pressure you give me, so that was actually fine for me.
On campus for you, can you move around easily without people bothering you? Or?
Yeah, I really haven't seen anybody yet. No one's really come up to me. I haven't been wearing USA Olympic team stuff out, so it's been a little bit easier. But my largest class has 14 in it, so it really hasn't been that bad.
Just out of curiosity, what was your first class back?
Gymnastics. I'm a phys ed major, so that's actually a required class. Yeah, teaching gymnastics and stunts. That was my first one.
You were staring her down before the final. What was going through your mind when you were kind of eyeballing this one?
Just to see if she'd look back at me. That's kind of my thing. I know I sound crazy saying this now, but I'm not the most talented swimmer, and physically at least. I knew that growing up. I knew I'd have to put the work in to become the best, and it wasn't just going to get there alone on talent. And I also learned that I'm really good at the mental game. So I kind of used that to my advantage with this one, and staring people down, doing stuff like that most people wouldn't think of, especially that a girl would do. That's definitely been a key thing for me in the past year.
Normal, or attempt to be back a normal life thing you did when you got back here?
What did I?
Restaurant or something like that?
I just went to my friend's house and just kind of hung out for a while. I actually didn't tell anyone I was coming back early because I was supposed to stay through closing ceremonies, but the swimmers all actually ended up leaving, so I got my flight changed. So I came back. I told one of my friends that I was coming back, and then I kind of surprised everybody that night at one of the parties. So that was pretty cool. Just kind of getting to see everybody, and they had no idea I was coming. So that was a really fun moment.
Continue, Lilly,
Sorry.
okay. Will you continue to speak out like that, or are you now like, oh my God, I don't want to go through that every week?
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that I'm the poster child for clean sport now. If I'm going to be the poster child for anything, I think that's a good thing. I guess I'm the poster child for playing it fair and not cheating, which is sad that there even has to be a poster child for that. But yeah, I think, if people feel the need to come to me to, have the final word with something, I guess doping related, I'm fine with speaking out about that.
Getting a lot of Russian backlash on your Instagram and Twitter. And
Yes,
stuff like that.
I am.
How much have the numbers gone up since the Olympics?
A lot, yeah. The Russian backlash has been quite interesting. I try not to let it get to me too much. Half the time I can't read it because it's in Russian, and I obviously do not speak Russian. So that's actually been kind of amusing to me. But yeah, it is a little frustrating at times when I post a picture of me and one of my best friends on Instagram, and they're saying, "You don't deserve your gold medal." That's a little frustrating. But I know that I'm right on every single thing that I said. So it really doesn't bug me too much.
Adjust some of the things as they were before? Or do
Yeah.
you think that you can?
Really just adjusting. I think for me, probably just getting back into the swing of things, like with meets. Like our first couple dual meets are going to be hard for me. Just coming back from any international competition, let alone the Olympics, is going to be difficult motivation-wise. So I'm just going to have to look to my team to, I guess, get that little bit of extra motivation. And I know I'm going to need to swim fast for them. So, but yeah, I think that's definitely going to be my biggest struggle.
go into those dual meets, I mean, it's hard to compare them to the prestige of the Olympics.
Right.
How do you mentally have to prepare? You said you're good at the mental game, so is it an easy adjustment to prepare and change mindsets, I guess?
Yeah, it is in some aspect, but just getting excited to race again at a dual meet will be hard. I know that I will have certain races with certain people that I'm going to get excited for. But it just, I guess, kind of our standard dual meet. Like if we have an easy meet, I'm not going to be real motivated to swim fast there. I mean, I will, but not like, I'm not going to be going best times anytime, during dual meets.
Cody mentioned that he's still on this Olympic high. Do you still feel that same kind of way?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. Cody's definitely on the high. I feel a little bit more than I am, just because I'm getting back to school and more back to normal life, and he's getting married and doing all these adult things. So he's got a lot more to be excited for. But yeah, I mean, I'm still like happy about it, but I'm definitely, I guess, coming down from that cloud.
Obviously there was some blowback, not just from the Russians, but a lot of support too, in terms of, after you take an ethical stand and you're honest about it. What's the percentage of support been like?
Yeah, the support's been great, especially from people back home. Just, I don't know, there's something about people that are probably like my parents' age about like the US-Russia thing, which I wasn't even really speaking out about Russia. She just happened to be Russian. But yeah, the support coming from home's been absolutely unreal. I think I didn't realize the race had been hyped up so much until really I got back. And I was doing interviews with people and they're like, hey, I heard this and this. I'm like, people usually don't really watch my races too much. So this one was just a little bit different in that aspect.
Over the past week, there's been a tremendous amount of attention surrounding Ryan Lochte and his situation. To what extent, if any, does that take away from all the accomplishments in the pool the past few years?
Yeah, it is sad that is, I guess, what people are focusing on now rather than how well the U.S. Olympic team did, because this was the greatest Olympic swim team we've ever had. Think of it, I guess, as the swimming dream team. So it is sad that it's taking away from that, but that's what happens when we do have to, I guess, come down from this, as I said, come down from this cloud at some point, and it just happens to be right now. Yeah. As I said, I always perform better at those meets with more lights, more people, more pressure. So I'm still, I've done this before. I've come back from international competition and had to go swim, like a rinky-dink meet. So I'm just gonna kind of stick with it and go race as hard as I can and see what comes out.
Besides that little plastic bag, where do you keep the medals?
They've been in the plastic bag for a couple days now. I was actually walking out of the house and got a text that don't forget your medals, and I was like, oh crap, I gotta go get them. So I ran upstairs. Then I was like, wait, where's the plastic bag? Where did I put them? But I don't. No. Scott Burns, our media relations guy, who's basically been taking care of me the last week or 2 weeks or month. Yeah, I have a really fancy wooden box for one of them, and I don't have the fancy wooden box for the other yet. I'm going to get it at some point. I don't know when. So I guess they'll go in the fancy boxes, but for now they're in the plastic bag.
Lilly, we talked a lot about goal setting at the beginning of the year, and then after you broke all of those NCAA records, we talked about it before trials, and now you shattered every single one of them. So what are your goals now, and what are your plans?
Yeah, we're really just looking to be breaking more barriers. Now that I have done that, there's really nothing more I can do. Anytime I go best time short course, it's going to be an American record. So that's a pretty cool thing to think about. But especially in the 200 breast, I think I've been pacing to break 2 minutes in the 200, and I think that's what we're looking for this season, which honestly, breaking 2 minutes in the 200 breast, especially for a woman, is absolutely unheard of, considering the American record was 2:04 flat before NCAA's this year. So that's where my head's going.
To have Ray down there.
It was great. I mean, the things you don't see is that we're at training camp for a month before we go to Rio. So, just having something normal in that so unusual setting was just, so great. And being without a coach for a month is awful. I don't know if you all have ever had to train without somebody there that's always there for you, but it's pretty hard. especially going into the biggest meet of your life. So just having that one thing that was always like so stable was really good for me.